Cheap doctor. What's wrong with those words? Cheap. Do you want to go to a cheap doctor? Do you think somebody wants a cheap version of you? I'm Lilli Cloud, founder of Bluefeet. I help people get and succeed in careers that serve them so they can serve the world. So I read an article the other day about consumer-directed healthcare and high deductible plans. Okay, stay with me, high deductible health plans. So the theory was that we were all gonna go shopping for healthcare. We were all gonna go look for cheap medical care. I don't know about you, but as a marketer, the really basic problem with that is pricing is perception, okay? It's one of the first things you learn in marketing. There's 4 P's, and one of them is pricing. Pricing is perception. So think about it. Your life is on the line. Are you gonna go to a cheap doctor? Or are you gonna look for the best one? Or maybe you just need some routine care. Maybe, you're going under, you're gonna have get a new knee, or you just want someone to bandage up a broken leg. Do you really wanna go to the cheapest one? I don't think so. So no big surprise that that didn't work. It's not gonna work for you either. Just like you don't want a cheap doctor, I don't think we want a cheap version of you either. Fill in the blank. Cheap, name of your profession. Cheap architect. Cheap engineer. Definitely don't want that, right? Cheap scientist. Cheap coach. Cheap consultant. You get the idea. Just fill in the name of whatever your profession is. And I bet you it sounds cheaper when you add the word cheap. That means you do not want to be cheap. If you come in asking for the lowest price at the job or whatever it is, asking for a raise, if you're always coming in at the bottom of the barrel, you look cheap. Being a bargain is not necessarily a good thing, okay? You don't want to be the cheap whatever you are. So you don't necessarily want to come in at the very, very top because you need room to grow, but you definitely do not want to be cheap. It could work against you. Just like you don't want to hire a cheap doctor, someone might not want to hire a cheap version of you either. So nobody wants somebody nobody wants, right? And simple supply and demand means when someone's in demand, they can charge a higher price. So, and that's why your doctor, the not cheap doctors are hard to get in to see, but worth it, right? Because your life could be on the line. In this case, your career and your financial future could be on the line. Because if you start out cheap, 1, you might not get the good job, and 2, you're gonna be stuck being cheap for the rest of your career because it's super hard to move from being Walmart to being Nordstrom. So there's some resources on our blog to find out what the market is for your whatever it is that you are. So you can do some research and know your numbers, but know this. You, my friend, are not cheap. You should not be cheap. Do not price yourself as cheap. You're worth more than that to yourself and to everybody else. Have a great week.